Hi, my name is Cold Beer, and let's start with Blacksad, Under the Skin. This is a gloomy game set in a New York City of the 1950s in a world of anthropomorphic animals. You will play as Blacksad, a private detective, and will have to untangle the secrets of a mysterious disappearance. This sinister case will take you to the darkest, most dismal depths of New York, where you will immerse yourself in a eerily dark adventure. Game is based on comic books, but if you don't know them, it's not a problem. It's probably even better to not have any untimely bias. People on Steam are saying that this is a very interesting game with a satisfying deduction mechanic, probably one of the best among other detective games. Although keep in mind that the game is short, it will take you about 9 hours to finish it. And now let me introduce the sponsor of this video and the best friend of Steam Deck, Antank Power Bank. See, they love each other! So the most important thing is that with the Antank Power Bank you can charge your Steam Deck from 3 to 4 times, meaning that you can play 3 or 4 times longer. Yeah, so press the link below and get your Antank Power Bank now, and enjoy longer gaming sessions than ever before. Imagine all the long journeys you can take without worrying that your deck will run out of juice. Or, you know, just a simple play session at home without being attached to the electrical outlet. That's totally worth it. Or, you know, playing more power-hungry games that discharge your deck like a river bursting through a dam is not so scary anymore. Antank Power Bank is like a second dam, way bigger than the first one. One of the cool features is that the Antank Power Bank magnetically attaches to your Steam Deck. That is so smart. And the holder attaches to your deck very easily. It has heat dissipation openings for better performance during gaming. You don't need to worry about that. And you can also charge mobile phones or tablets from it. It is a multi-purpose gadget compatible with USB-C devices. So one thing for everything. The package includes 2 free cables, a 25cm short wire for carrying the Antank Power Bank with you, and a 1 m wire for charging various devices you may have. It has a battery light indicator for charge status, so it is easy to see how much energy it still has. Also, the Antank Power Bank has built-in safety features like protection from overcharge, over-discharge, overcurrent and short circuit, with an intelligent control chip for optimized charging. That is really a next level thing we usually don't get with power banks, but as it is especially designed for Steam Deck, it has all these amazing features. The price is very nice, and the delivery speed into your country may vary, but I got mine in about 3 days, which is awesome. Also, if you need a similar power bank for your ROG, they have you covered as well. In the website you can acquire a power bank for ROG and many other cool things, like the Antank 6-in-1 docking station for Steam Deck or ROG Ally. It allows you to enjoy 4K visuals with the HDMI 2.0 output, lightning-fast network connection and seamless data transfer with USB 3.0 ports. Also various similar gadgets for your Nintendo Switch as well. So press on the link in the description or in the first pinned comment below and choose your favorite life quality improving gadget. Squad. This is a tactical military action first-person shooter. Here you can compete in massive scale 50 versus 50 battles and work with your teammates. So basically there are a lot of dudes who can just snipe you the moment you show yourself out in the open. Make sure that your patience is strong. Here you'll find a wide selection of realistic faction-specific weapons and vehicles, allowing you to build your own equipment that best suits your preferred tactics. The game features 13 factions, 24 huge maps and a massive arsenal of weapons and vehicles. The combat here was designed to provide the most fun, immersive and authentic infantry experience possible. Well, the game has around 80% positive reviews, so I would say that is a success. Cool thing is an in-game communication system that allows you to talk to other soldiers locally, in squad, between squad leaders, or even to the overall team commander. You know, shout atrocities, get banned, the usual. Just be sure that you have a nice PC, because the game is not very optimized and can melt your hardware quite easily. Stolen Realm. The game has a simultaneous team turn system implemented for faster combat and character scaling, meaning that no matter how many people will join you on your quest, the overall difficulty of the game will stay the same. Here more than 240 skills in 8 distinct skill trees, 500 items and fun rewarding activities will keep you entertained. People are talking that the game is really enjoyable, but best if played in a group of 2 to 4 people. For example, I don't have this amount of friends, so I will skip it and keep my virginity strong with other games, but if you have a buddy or two, invite your both mothers-in-law and have fun together. And after that, of course, you can try this game. BioShock Remastered. This is an immersive sim shooter loaded with powerful weapons and interesting tactics. You'll have a complete arsenal at your disposal, from simple revolvers to grenade launchers and chemical throwers, but you will also be forced to genetically modify your DNA to create an even more deadly weapon, which is you. So there is only a small chance that you have never heard about the game, but I can assure you that BioShock is one of the best first-person shooter games ever created, and this remastered version includes some additional content, 65 Steam achievements, full controller support, modern textures, and of course 4K support as well. Second part is also discounted, but if you never played BioShock, start with the first part. The game is story-rich, and it would be a shame to skip a huge part of it. Airships conquer the skies. More than 90% of positive reviews left by thousands of people got my attention. And that is great, because the game at first sight looks simple, and I usually ignore titles like that. Not this time. Here you will need to use all your creativity and skill to design and build fearsome airships and land vehicles to give you the edge in massive aerial battles. So this is a steampunk real-time grand strategy wargame with air and naval combat. You will construct your vehicles by piecing together a vast array of modules, choosing weapons, armor types, structures, equipment and resources in near endless configurations to allow you to prevail even against the strongest foes. So construct your flying mechanical potato and fight for the honor of glorious Coldberistan. Kenshi. This is a free-roaming, squad-based RPG focusing on open-ended sandbox gameplay. You can be a trader, a thief, a rebel, a warlord, a slave, or just food for the cannibals. The freedom is here, and it's up to you how you would use it. You can research new equipment and craft new gear, purchase and upgrade your own buildings to use as safe fortified havens when things go bad, or use them to start up a business. Well, it's a sandbox game after all. You can aid or oppose the various factions in the world while striving for the strength and wealth necessary to simply survive in the harsh desert. You will train your men up from puny victims to master warriors, carry your wounded squadmates to safety and get them all home alive. The game is purely single player, and it's an owner of overwhelmingly positive reviews left by tens of thousands of people. Resident Evil 4. 6 years have passed since the biological disaster in Raccoon City. You are one of the survivors of the incident, and you have been sent to rescue the president's kidnapped daughter. You track her to a secluded European village where there is something terribly wrong with the locals. They all put pineapple into potato salad. I'm kidding, of course, nothing that horrifying. Those people are just crazy. You know, they want to kill you, mutilate your body, and then do something else with it. What a nice place to be, you know? So you will be living this nightmare, and you will do your best trying to survive. People are saying that after playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, it was hard to hope that anything can be that level of awesomeness, but Resident Evil 4 does miracles. Players are saying that this remake is just excellent, and you know, I can only agree, this game is awesome. Tainted Grail Conquest. This is a unique, infinitely replayable, story-driven hybrid between a deck-building roguelite and an RPG game. Here you will explore the ever-changing maps, fight with deadly enemies, and learn what happened to the cursed island of Avalon. You will find 9 unique hero classes, 460 cards, 340 passive skills, 50 masteries, and a lot of other stuff you don't really care to hear about right now if you never play the game. I can say one thing for sure, it's a dark fantasy game with all the dark benefits of it. Original monsters and beasts, creepy adversaries, and fun gameplay await you here. About 90% of the reviews are positive, so it's safe to say that there is a huge chance that you will like the game if you like the genre. People on Steam are saying that this game is gritty, gnarly, dark, and worth your money even when it's not on sale. 8-bit Armies. If Command & Conquer spent the night with Minecraft, 9 months later 8-bit Armies would be born. This is a fast-paced RTS, a very colorful strategy arcade game that is easy to learn for players of all skill levels, so even for you. Here you will collect resources, build up and defend your base, amass your army of tanks and planes, and ultimately crush your opponents. Here you'll find 25 offline campaign missions, 12 co-op missions to play with your mother-in-law, and 10 multiplayer maps that support up to 8 players online. Although speaking about players online, you rarely find more than 10 in total, so if you want to play multiplayer or co-op, you will need a friend or some stranger from Discord. But if you don't have any friends, and of course you don't, keep in mind that the game also has pretty good AI you can play with or fight against. Not as good as Skynet, so it won't take over the world, but it can take over your dignity, so be sure you are up for the challenge. 8-bit Armies is easy to understand and is user-friendly. Also, it is a really well-aged game. Remnant 2. This is the sequel to Remnant from the Ashes, best known as Dark Souls with guns. The game pits survivors of humanity against new deadly creatures and godlike bosses across beautiful but menacing worlds. Here you can travel alone or with friends as a team and explore strange new worlds and beyond, overrun by mythical creatures while trying to stay alive. There are multiple worlds to explore with different types of creatures, weapons and items. Game has branching quest lines, augments, crafting and loot rewards that will test the resolve of even the most hardened players in dynamically generated dungeons and areas. Most of the players are saying that the second part is better than the first one, meaning that developers learned from their past mistakes and made an actually awesome game. Smalland: Survive the Wilds. You'll traverse puddles as big as a lake, scale skyscraper-sized trees and scramble through cavernous cracks in roads as you explore a huge open world from a new perspective. Well, honestly, we all saw this in Grounded already, but that game is obviously oriented to a younger audience, and Smalland is more like a traditional open-world RPG with heavy crafting and survival elements. Yeah, keep that in mind. The game is filled with various challenges. The squirrel gangs that see you as a walking peanut can be a little overwhelming and add an unexpected twist to your tiny adventures. One of the coolest things is that you can ride various creatures, and not only on the ground, there are plenty of flying mounts as well. And for me, after flying for countless hours in Hogwarts Legacy, it's very hard to go back to any game that doesn't have this feature. Anyway, you can play the game alone or with friends. Also, if you are afraid of spiders, fair warning, you are a pussy. I'm kidding, I just wanted to stress out that here you will encounter some realistically looking and moving spiders that may not be compatible with your raging arachnophobia. Desperados III. You can kill quietly with a knife or take out multiple foes with your revolvers. I especially like the knife part, it somehow feels more personal and, of course, requires more skill. Scenarios Desperados presents are far from cliché, situations are quite original but also familiar with a nice vibe of Wild West. I say vibe because here you will fight not only in small frontier towns, but also in creepy swamps, riverbanks and even in sprawling modern cities. Here you can choose between non-lethal and deadly attacks, meaning that you can finish the game without killing anyone. I have no idea why you may do that, it's boring. I live my real life without killing anyone. Why should I do the same where I am allowed to snap a neck or two? For example, I am against hunting for fun, but I play the hunter and I slaughter all the animals in the forest for pure entertainment. You know why? Because they are not real. Duh. Anyway, Desperados 3 is like an old good Commandos game, but modern with amazing visuals and great quality overall. Jotun Valhalla Edition. This is a hand-drawn action exploration game set in Norse mythology. Here you play as Thora, a Viking warrior who died an inglorious death and must prove herself to the gods to enter Valhalla. Well, I can name at least two better Hallas I would want to enter instead. A Game Hala and, of course, Boob Hala. Anyway, aside from the boss battles, the game revolves around exploration and puzzle solving, with a few enemies to fight. Although it isn't very surprising that puzzles often are solved by using axe swings to interact with objects. Very Vikingy. People on Steam are talking that this is a beautiful and deceptively difficult game, and the art and music lull you into a false sense of security and comfort, and then jumps on you with a full force. This is a really nice game, especially for this price. Trepang 2. He will take on the shoes of an escaped soldier who has no memories of his past life but is infused with supernatural abilities. All you want is revenge for something, you know, and you'll stop at nothing. You will deliver devastating punches, sneak around in the shadows, wield powerful weapons, and give the bad guys a taste of their own medicine. Or a taste of pineapple in the potato salad, which is way worse and should be banned by Convention of Geneva or something. So anyway, as you can already tell, the game has strong horror vibes and has visuals and atmosphere similar to legendary Fear games. Here you'll find 6 difficulty levels, so even if it looks hard to crack, on easy it is quite easy. Game has above 90% of positive reviews on Steam and you can play the free demo version as well. The Witcher 2 Assassin of Kings Enhanced Edition. Everyone knows, and most of us have played the third Witcher, but just a few of us have tried previous parts. Well, I played all of them and I can share my quick insights about part 2. So if you are wondering should you play Assassin of Kings, there is some major guidance for you. If you like the third Witcher because of the open world and fluid combat, you won't find anything similar here. The world is segmented, some areas are more open, some are straight linear and combat is way less satisfying, although it is decent enough to not make you rage all the time. It is an Zelda game released at the same time as Skyrim, but just with a fraction of that budget. But if you like third Witcher because of the story, writing, humor and deeply developed characters, then yes, the second part can offer a similar experience. I would give the overall scenario 10 cold beers out of 10. I can absolutely recommend it. Also, the game has boobs in it. On Steam, Assassin of Kings has 90% of positive reviews, left by tens of thousands of people. Basically, this game was the moneymaker that helped CD Projekt create a much bigger third part, which is also heavily discounted. Megaquarium. This is a theme park management tycoon game with an aquatic twist. You will need to design your displays, look after your animals, manage your staff and keep your guests happy. Starting just with a few tanks and the most basic of livestock, you'll grow your aquarium to a glass metropolis filled with hundreds of guests and staff. The game features almost 100 different marine species, including fish, sharks, crustaceans, corals, jellyfish and other invertebrates and turtles. Also giraffes, elephants and even a Spinosaurus. Yeah, they don't come with an original game, but the modding community is huge, so you can literally have a theme park of extinct marine fauna if you want, or you can mod the game yourself and make your own animal. Cold Beeropotamus or even Potato Saladosaurus is a preferred creation. Sea of Thieves. Are you ready to become most notorious pirate in the world, take hostages and pillage ships for incredible wealth? That is great. If so, you can also try this game and treat it like a pirate simulator for your upcoming life of crime. So here you will explore a vast world filled with unspoiled islands and underwater kingdoms, take on adventures to hunt for lost loot, forge a reputation with the trading companies and battle various foes, from phantoms and ocean crawlers to megalodons and the mighty kraken itself. And you know, after you kill the beast, keep in mind that krakens are very tasty with hot potatoes and lemon. Also here, obviously, you can try your hand at fishing, make maps to your own buried treasure, or choose from hundreds of other optional goals and side quests. And the game itself is not a short one. The estimated time to complete all 60 Sea of Thieves achievements is about 1000 hours. Make sure you have a lot of free time before buying. SCARLET NEXUS. So here in the far distant anime future, a psionic hormone was discovered in the human brain, granting people extra sensory powers, and that changed the world as we knew it. As humanity entered this new era, deranged mutants known as Others began to descend from the sky with a hunger for human brains. Highly resistant to conventional attack methods, extreme measures needed to be taken to battle the overwhelming threat and preserve humanity. Those with acute extrasensory abilities known as psionics were our only chance to fight the danger from above. So I guess it is you and your anime heroes named Yuito and Kasani. You will have to complete both of their anime stories to unlock all the anime mysteries of a brainpunk future caught between technology and psychic abilities. Reviews are very positive, although people are saying that the game is quite generic and may not inspire you in any way. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This is probably the best fantasy open-world RPG ever created, and I doubt that I could find anyone who at least never heard of it. Well, at least inside the Western influence hemisphere, it's a true legend. On Steam it has more than 600,000 reviews, and 96% of these people recommend this game for you. And I don't know who are the 4% who didn't like the game. I scrolled for like 5 minutes through hundreds of reviews and failed to find any explaining why, although I finally found one. Dude said that he doesn't like developers anymore after the flop of Cyberpunk 2077, which is honestly a good game by now, and that's why he gave a negative review for Witcher 3. That is not serious. And my friendship with Witcher Geralt started way before any of the games were released. I read the book when I was a teenager, and after many years I even got Andrzej Sapkowski to sign it for me when he was visiting Lithuania for some book fair or something. And we also spoke for like 20 seconds as well. Never washed my mouth and ears after that. Anyway, the game has an incredible story, super fun gameplay and a huge dark fantasy open world to explore. The coolest thing is, of course, your profession. You kill monsters for money, so you can just travel around the map and fulfill contracts ignoring the main story as long as you want or as long as you can get a new contract. And every single monster hunt is a handcrafted mission with different outcomes and sometimes hard moral choices. Third Witcher is probably the best game I have ever played. Death Stranding Director's Cut. After the collapse of civilization, you must journey across a ravaged landscape crawling with dangers to save mankind from the brink of extinction. Game is created by legendary Hideo Kojima, so brace yourself for some weirdness. The famous Danish actor Mads Mikkelsen and the Walking Dead hair model Norman Reedus gave their bodies and voices to the characters, so that alone is probably enough to catch your attention. Also, you can actually take a Dumpty Dump in there. Such nice details. Death Stranding is definitely not a standard game. It really differs from almost everything I have seen. Some salty guys call the game a walking simulator, but you know, in a walking simulator you can't die, and here death is on every corner. It's even in the name of the game. Death Stranding can be too stressful for more sensitive people, so keep in mind that this is not just a happy walk in a park. It's quite dark and gloomy, and it will really test your nerves. BioShock Infinite. As the first two parts, this is an immersive first-person shooter sim with a wonderful single-player story. While the first and second BioShock games were set underwater, this time you go high into the sky, to the city among the clouds named Columbia. The year is 1912, and you have to rescue a mysterious girl or die trying. Well, knowing you, the latter option is more likely. Oh, come on, I'm kidding, you are great, never doubt that. Now subscribe. Anyway, the Flying City is a beautiful and vibrant world that holds a very dark secret. Here you can rip apart time and space to shape the battlefield and turn the tide in combat by pulling weapons, turrets and other resources out of thin air, throw explosive fireballs, shoot lightning and release murders of crows. Game has more than 90% of positive reviews and is a real gem every first-person shooter lover should play. Ship Graveyard Simulator 2. Here you will destroy mighty ships, recover materials and earn good imaginary money. Because earning good, not imaginary money, is only in our imagination. Yeah, subscribe for more pep talk. Anyway, in the game you can expect new bigger ships, new gameplay features and improvements. Also well-known mechanics from the first game that have been significantly improved. So if you never played the first part, there is no point of doing that now. So with a hammer and a torch in your hands, you will discover that there are a dozen kilometers of wreckage on the coast and thousands of tons of steel that you have to sell. Once I listened to a podcast about black matter detectors, and scientist Katie Mack said that for these, only old steel of ships made before the nuclear era of humanity are a viable material, because they don't have radiation the new stuff has, and that steel from these old ships is the best thing for science. An interesting fact, no doubt. The game has around 80% positive reviews and a free demo version you can try. Cataclismo. If you like city defense games, you should watch my video named Best 10 Games Like They Are Billions, but you won't find Cataclismo there because of how fresh and new it is. So here you will lead the last survivors in the aftermath of the world-ending event, as a corrupted force seeks to destroy all that remains of humanity. You will build fortresses brick by brick, designing intricate and towering structures of wood and stone, and of course use them to fend off waves of horrors as they attempt to overwhelm your band of brave warriors. The coolest thing about the game is of course its highly modular building system, which allows you to design your fortresses as you desire, one piece at a time. You can use blueprints you have designed in advance, or use creations of other players. That is really awesome. Imagine meeting someone at the party and realizing that this is the creator of your favorite god tower.
You saved me from monsters, mister, so many times. Thank you!
Also, the graphic style and visuals are really awesome, artsy I would even say. Game has around 90% positive reviews, so if you like tower defense games, there aren't many better options. You have all my recommendations. Cat Quest 2. This is a 2D open-world action RPG set in a fantasy realm of cats and dogs. Here the war continues. The mighty cats of Felingard are in eternal conflict with the dogs of the Lupus Empire. So Cat Quest 2 tells the story of two kings brought together against their will on a journey of discovery to reclaim their thrones. Well, a king without a throne is like a biker without a bike, potato salad without potatoes, or you without virginity. I'm kidding, don't be angry with me. Instead, subscribe and I promise to never insult you ever again. Yeah, that is a lie. Anyway, in-game you will find a bunch of explosive spells, expanded weapon options, exciting new character switch mechanic, and local co-op. The best thing about this co-op is that you can actually play the game on a shared screen. So if you have a friend, you know what to do. I mean that you have a lot of knowledge about your friend, so blackmail him into playing this game with you. I tried to find some bad comments about the game, but after a minute of scrolling I found one negative comment comparing Conquest 2 to Subnautica 2.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know, Conquest 2 is great. Try it, have fun. Kynseed. In this life sim you will have to raise a family, farm the land, run shops and explore a world where everyone ages. Yes, here you will live your life in a quirky world where everyone dies at the end, including your pets. What a great idea to make everyone happy, right? Anyway, heroes here are just like degrading weapons in Dying Light. When you break one, you can just take another. So no reason to be sad, because when you die here you step into the shoes of your children and continue your legacy. And then you die again, and then you continue again. Cool thing is that developers are still updating the game and not just fixing various bugs, but also adding various fun things like farmhouse customization, new challenge system with rewards, story cutscenes, and so on. On Steam, where it is possible to see playtime of reviewers, 100 hours is quite a casual thing. In general, this is a really cool spin on classic farming sim games, with so much to do and so much to see. From crafting and running a business to exploring the wilderness and meeting some marvelously malevolent monsters, Kynseed has it all. Shadow Warrior 2. You shall need to survive as a mercenary on the edge of a corrupted world. You will wield a devastating combination of guns, blades, and magic, and with these awesome tools you will eradicate the demonic legions overwhelming the world. You can play it alone or in 4-player co-op. Game features procedurally generated landscapes, powerful new weapons, armor, and arcane relics of legend. You'll find an array of over 70 lethal blades and explosive firearms. Choose your weapon based on the situation at hand and then dismantle everything that stands in your path with an advanced gore system.
You don't need to be this intact, kind sir.
The game also has destructible terrain that explodes in satisfying ways. It's like if you put the Borderlands and Doom into the Cronenberg's machine, and the Shadow Warrior would be the result of the merging. The game takes about 8 hours to beat, so the deal is really sweet. Absolutely delicious spoon of juicy potato salad. Mechabellum. This is an auto-battler taking place on a newly colonized planet. You are the commander of an army of mechs, fighting in massive player versus player battles. You can customize and level up your units before the fight, strategically place them on the battlefield and watch them destroy your enemies without mercy. Or be destroyed and cry. Or just cry without being destroyed. I don't know, man. I don't know your life, what you like or not. What I actually know is that the game is really fun. You know, most of the time you just watch and enjoy. It's like personal battle stories made just for you, and not all of them will have a happy ending. Although the more you practice, the more happy endings you will get.
That's what she said.
Yeah, anyway, if you play totally accurate battle simulator, you know what I have in mind. If not, you should. It's awesome. And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.